Oh, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, please make me feel so very welcome. A little out of place, a little out of tune, so lost in space, racing that moon, climbing the walls of a hurricane, still overall, I can't complain. All I wanted was one chance to let freedom ring. They said I'd have to get a permit, a bunch of tags and everything. I never made it through the red tape. I got this paper hat, I got a job working weekdays. You want fries with that? I got nothing to lose, nothing to gain. It's like a one-way ticket to cruise in the passing lane. I can't complain. I was talking with my girlfriend. I told her I was stressed. I said I'm going off the deep end. She said, God, for once give it a rest. We're all waiting in the dugout, thinking we should pitch. How you gonna throw a shutout if all you do is bitch? I got nothing to lose, nothing to gain. It's like a one-way ticket to cruise in the passing lane. I can't complain. Now I've got a brand new dance. I need one more shot. I just need one last chance. You know I won't get caught. I wanna make my last stand, and this time I can't be bought. Then again, you know, on the other hand, how much have you got? I got nothing to lose, nothing to gain. It's like a one-way ticket to cruise in the passing lane. Can't complain. Little out of place, little out of tune, so lost in space, facing that moon, climbing the walls of a hurricane, still overall, I can't complain. Hey, how are you all? I can't complain. How's that one? Shouldn't be. It could be the chorus. It's gonna be the chord, man. Can you hear that? Yeah. You can hear that guitar there? Yep. Was a black, Willie was a white. Betty and a Willie got it on one night. Yeah, okay. They climbed in a bottle of a Tanqueray. They fell in love that very day. They sat by a fire. They listened to jazz. They had pretty little dreams, like every couple has. They had to be careful when they went out at night. 'Cause Betty was black and Willie was white. Willie's old man cut him out of the will. He hired a lawyer, he sent Willie the bill. You want, boy, anything's fine. It's just from now on, you ain't no son of mine. And Betty mama. She tried to understand. Daddy just give her the back of his hand. He said, do what you want, girl, just don't ever come back. You see, Willie was white, her Betty was black. Difficult ones. They put up with sneers and social shun. Then one fine year the boy was son, and they named the boy Tad. And they dreamed of a year that wouldn't be so bad, when Tad could stand up in his skin of brown, not be afraid when he walked downtown, when he could dream of a day when the future's alright. He could be proud to be black, be proud to be white. And Willie, oh God, his wife. Thank you so much. I don't want to go any further into my portion of the program without thanking the organizers of this festival for giving me such a great opportunity to come up to your town this afternoon. I want to thank y'all for giving me a chance to sing for you too. If you've never seen me play before, my name is Todd Snider. I've been driving around 15 years, making this crap up and singing it for anybody that will listen to it. This is what I come up with on the plane. I try to get to the plane early enough to just get a magazine and get on the plane, because I don't like to hang out at the airport. I can't afford the drinks at the airport. So I get there just in time to get a magazine. This morning I didn't get there in time to get my own magazine, so I had to choose between one of the two in the pouch there in front of me that were free. The Sky Mall and the Continental magazine. I was reading in the Continental magazine an article about the human brain, and I took the first two lines of the article and I made this song as the first two lines of the song. And then the rest I made up by myself. The first two lines of the article about the brain, honestly, they say that 3% of people use 5 to 6% of their brain. 97% use just 3%, and the rest goes down the drain. I'll never know which one I am, but I'll bet you my last dime. 99% think we're 3%, 100% of the time. They say 60% of all the world's statistics are made up right there on the spot. 82.4% of people believe them, whether they're even accurate statistics or not. I don't know what you believe, but I do know there's no doubt I could use another double shot of something to prove I got too much to think about. Too much to think about. Too much to figure out. Stuck between hope and doubt, that's too much to think about. They say 70% of everything you learn in college is just bullcrap you won't need. 83.4% everything you bought just to satisfy your greed, because 90% of this world's population will link your possessions to your success, even though 98% of the wealthiest 1% of the population drinks to an alarming excess. More money, more stress, I guess. They say too much to think about, too much to figure out. Stuck between hope and doubt, that's too much to think about. Pick it then, okay. They say that 72% of all statisticians truly hate their jobs. The average bank robber lives within, say, about 20 miles of the bank that he robs. There's this little bank not so far from here that I've been watching now for a while. Seems like lately all I can think about is how bad I want to go out in style. Too much to think about, too much to figure out. Stuck between hope and doubt, lost too much to think about. It's too much to think about. Amen, it's too much to think about. You having fun so far? Who said that? All right, I'll get to it, you know. I gotta plow through all this other crap. Right? This is a good one, though. Knows I need this, and we're gonna be a big high and wide. City streets, new countrysides, chemicals and pesticides. This land is all ancient. Hear it, man, don't waste our time. We're young and strong, we got hills to climb. There's a lot of room, but we need it all for slave trade and shopping malls. We're gonna be a big high and wide. City streets, new countrysides, chemicals and we got hopeful hearts, we got working hands, and heaven knows that we need this land because the world needs landfills, diet pills, and paper mills. We need country clubs and oil spills. This land is our land. This land is our land. Super Bowls and subway rides, gang-related homicides, remote controls, pesticides. This land is our land. This land is our I'm going to do a song for you that I came up with as I was driving in a car from, where was I? I was coming from Memphis up to Nashville to make an album, and it started to snow, which I'm not used to. I'm from Oregon, it's where I'm from, but it just rains on us. And now I live in the South where it's just hot all freaking time, drives you out of your mind. So I'm driving and it starts to snow. And I think, well, I don't really know how to drive in the snow, but I want to make an album, so I'm just going to press into this, you know? And everything's going fine. Then I hit this patch of ice, and I start sliding towards this entirely different car than the one that I'm driving in, you know? And I knew that I was gonna hit this car. I was gonna crash into this car. And if you've been in a wreck yourself, you know that there's this brief moment between realizing that you're gonna crash your car and actually crashing your car. And it was in that brief moment that I come up with the words for this one. So it's only got one chord in it. I'm sure you understand. There's a truck turned over on the highway. Flares are burning out of the snow. Freezing rain is in my passing lane. I got 45 miles to go. 45 miles, good God, that's gonna take me all night. I should've known right away that something was wrong when I started thinking things were alright. Things are not alright. My old man's sick, my sister's going broke. They're closing down my favorite bar. I got a smoker's cough, and now to top it all off, I think I'm gonna wreck my car. I'm about to wreck. Goes in stages like seasons. Well, I say that something about all of them sucks. It's as hard to be hot as it is to be cold. You're either out of control or you're stuck. You're either out of control or you're stuck. Just take whatever road that you got to. Head below the ice and the snow. I ain't got time to change my mind. I got 45 miles to go. 45 miles, Lord, it's gonna take me all night. I should've known right away that something was wrong when I started thinking things was alright. Things not alright. Things not alright. Things not alright. Oh God, they ain't alright. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you're having fun. If you let me come back next year, I'll learn the language. There's a story telling about a guy who goes like, well, I came in off a dead-end street. I walked in slow, I took a back row seat. I knew I had nothing new to say. So many people looked so burned out. I couldn't help feeling bad about just having to be there anyway. A friend of a friend from work came in. I never had known what to make of him, and it always seemed to be so insincere to me. You know, I've always been afraid of a 12-step crowd. They laugh too much and they talk too loud, like they all know where everyone should be. It's been a long They were talking in a circle, I was by myself. Everyone was telling everyone how they felt, and God, it felt like so long since I had been young. His circle kept moving its way to the back. I was wondering what I was gonna say. In fact, I still didn't It's been a long year. It's been a long year. How did I get here? Well, I didn't say a word all the way to my car, but a little later on that night down at the bar, I was telling everybody how strange my day had been. They said, brother, all you need is another shot. So I threw one down and said, thanks a lot, as I thought to myself, well, here we go. It's been a long year. Been a long year. How did I get here? Thanks a lot. Thank you. I come where I was telling you earlier, I come from Portland, Oregon. That's where I come from. I don't know if you ever get up that way. Do I know Little Sue? I heard the town's really grown. Anyway, I got this song that I've been working on lately about this band that I love from my hometown that you might have heard of. They had this song that they came up with well, they didn't come up with it themselves, but they recorded it in the early 60s, and the government decided that the song was so sexually, what's the word you say after that? And then suggestive and possibly detrimental to the youth of our country, and so they opened up a file on this band from my hometown that I don't know if it's closed yet or not. But anyway, I want to dedicate this song to the rock and roll group The Kingsmen, and my hope is that it will inspire you to make love to each other. The Kingsmen came together in a garage. They could hardly even play, but they practiced night and day, and pretty soon they got to where they could play that song, Louie Louie. So they saved up all the money from the shows and went into one of them studios, and they gave their version of the song a try. Now, I don't know the words to that song, Louie Louie, and I'm pretty sure the singer for the Kingsmen didn't know them either. If he did know them, he didn't get them right on the record, because on the record, they sound jumbled in his jaw. He says, me think of me, girl, oh so constantly. How may I make Well, that last part scared everybody from the PTA to the FBI. See, the kids have been getting kind of weird lately. It seemed like nobody could figure out why, so they decided to form a coalition, launch an investigation for the children. You know, they at least had to try to figure out the words to Louie Louie. It's the feel good hit of this endless summer. It's getting the kids out of control. They're singing along to that Star-Spangled Banner. Manson's real name isn't even Marilyn Manson. He is a skinny public high school kid from Florida. He is not some monster from out of this world. And like a lot of other skinny, long-haired public high school kids, he was sick of getting beaten up by the pulling guard all week, only to go out on the weekend and watch the quarterback get all the girls. So he formed a band, man, and now he gets all kinds of chicks. A few years later, a couple of these latchkey kids go tragically mad, and everyone's gathered around in front of the television store at the mall trying to figure out what went wrong. And this guy says, "You think the life of a high school kid in America could have gotten so bad?" And the other guy says, "No, I bet it was just the lyrics to one of those Marilyn Manson songs. You know what I'm talking about, that dirty one." It's the feel good hit of this endless summer. It gets these kids out of control, singing along to that Star-Spangled Bomber. Hail, hail, rock and roll. You know, every 10 years or so, our country and some other little country, we start firing all our newest weapons at each other for some reason or another. Like it or not, right or wrong, it happens. And when it happens, people get shot. When people get shot, they show it on TV a lot, man. Every night at 6 o'clock. And you don't even have to be 18 years old to see it. You don't even have to be in first grade. First grade, where they teach the kid the pride, they tell him that he's going to need to thrive in a world where they say that only the strong will survive. So he's taught the art of more to compare to and to keep score Monday through Friday while he stares at the floor until Sunday. They make him go to school once more and listen to this guy in a suit and a tie who claims to know where people go when they die. Tell him that only the meek are going to inherit the earth. Only this time he doesn't know what anything is worth. Now, brothers and sisters, I am only one guy, and I don't even know the words to that song, Louie Louie. But I can tell you right now, without batting an eye, that the next time some latchkey kid goes wrong, it's not going to be because Eminem gets to say dirty words in his song, and I'm not preaching to you either. I'm just singing to you. Hey, kids. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. What a great time. I'm having a good time, I'll tell you. I like to do this more than just about anything that I do in my day, and I sure appreciate it when it's such a nice crowd like this. Thanks for making me feel so welcome. First time that I ever played in front of an audience, I was in this town called San Marcos, Texas, and they had an open mic songwriter night. And you got to play 3 songs of your own, and that's how many I had. And so I went down and I signed my name on this list, and like a lot of you would have done when I signed my name on the list, I looked at the name right ahead of mine so that I would know that when they introduced this guy, I was next. So his name was Aaron Allen. That was his name, Aaron Allen. I'll never forget it as long as I live. Open mic, summer night. You can only do 3. You're after Aaron Allen. Okay, so I'm sitting in this chair. They call up Aaron Allen, right? He starts singing this Willie Nelson song. So I walk over to the lady and I say, "Hey, listen, you told me that we had to sing our own songs." And she said, "Yeah." I said, "But I heard this on a Willie Nelson album." And she said, "Yes." I said, "You think I can move down the list a little? Maybe skip a couple people and then go a couple after this guy." But she said that that was the only way you could do it, was where you were. So I went up and I gave it a try, but the whole time I sang, I was just thinking about this guy, Aaron Allen, and how he probably didn't even have a job or anything. And so as soon as I got done, I walked over to him and I said, "Aaron Allen, God dang, you really came up with that song for Willie Nelson?" He says, "Yeah." And I said, "That's what I want to do. I want to come up with songs and stuff." He said, "Well, weren't you that kid that just went up there?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Well, that all rhymed and everything, I thought, didn't it?" I said, "Yeah, but I want to be good at it, you know?" And he said, "Well, that's a different story." He said, "The only piece of advice that I got that I'll pass on to you," and he said, I heard this from this old guy, and I'll pass it on to you, kid. I said, I'll take it. He said, listen, if you can take every single thing that you own in the whole world and pack it up inside of 15 minutes and be out of where you're living, and if you keep your life in a situation where stuff like that happens to you every once in a while, you will always be getting better at coming up with songs. I don't know if it's true or not, but I bought it, and it has taken me a lot of discipline to keep my life as messed up as it is. There's a song I sing to help myself maintain that discipline, and I send it out to my buddy Aaron Allen, whatever town he's 15 minutes from being out of tonight. Oh, Miss Virgie tended bar to shack out in the hill. He'd never made her no money, boy, but he paid up all of her bills. She must have been 80 years old, but her heart was warm and her beer was cold, and she gave away more than she usually sold. She'd be smiling all the time. I used to sing off in the corner. It was every Friday night. I'd be singing to a loud crowd of cowboys and bikers in barroom fights. They'd be drinking beer and carrying on, and not a one of them had listened to one of my songs, but old Miss Virgie'd be singing along. She said she knew them all by heart. And then one night after closing, she poured me up a beer. She said, come over and sit down, you little idiot. I got something that you need to hear. She said, life isn't easy getting through. Everybody's gonna make things tough on you, but I can tell you right now, if you dig what you do, they will never get you down. She said, life is too short to worry. She said, life's too long to wait. Well, it's too short not to love everybody. Life's too long to hate. I meet a lot of men that haggle and finagle all the time, trying to save a nickel, maybe make a dime. She said, not me. Boy knows the real Lord, I ain't got the time. I ain't seen no Virgie, I guess it's probably been 20 years. I've been bumming around this country. I sing my songs for tips and beers. Now the nights are long and the driving's tough. The hotels are weird and the pay sucks, but I can't dig what I do enough. It never gets me down. I say life's too short to worry. I say life's too long to wait. Life's too short not to love everybody. Life's too long to hate. I meet a lot of men that haggle and finagle all the time, trying to save a nickel, maybe make a dime. And I made more than those three. I said I ain't got the time. He tried to look like he had a little bit of money. He's a grifter with a southern drawl, but I could tell right away by the way he was running that boy was just begging to crawl. At least a junkie knows what he needs. You get a man all strung out on his own greed, and he will give up everything he's got for just one shot at having it all. Taking every last cent of his savings on a trip down a local track. He had a tip from a friend, put it all down to win on a horse named Heart Attack. Oh well, now he ain't no fool, boys, he didn't bet it all. So everything was cool when that horse took a fall, but then it turned around and blew the race trying to win it back. He wanted easy money, sad but it's true. Everybody wants the most they could possibly get, but for the least they could possibly do, they want that easy money. I don't understand, Lord, they're scheming and playing, but they can't get their hands on easy mind. Now she'd been watching him from her table, not too soft, but not too tough. Well, she figured by the money he'd been throwing around that his dang sure good looking enough. So she worked her way over, she shot him a wink. He took his last $5. He bought her a drink. By the time they hit Motel 6, they figured they was in love. Love, there's in love, there's love that easy money. Oh, it's sad, but it's true. Everybody wants the most they could possibly get, but for the least they can possibly do, they want that easy money. I don't understand the scheme and the plan, but they can't get their hands on none of that easy money. It must have been about 2 weeks later, he gets a call from one of his business friends. Found a surefire steal of this big investment deal in Dublin. Would you believe this? He gonna let both of us in. So they took all the savings out of the bank. On the way home they stopped to gas up her tank. She stepped in for some cigs and she never ever saw him again. He wanted easy money. It's sad but it's true. Everybody wants the most they could possibly get, but for the least they can possibly do, they want that easy money. I don't understand the scheme and the plan, but they can't get their hands on none of that easy money. Oh, the scheme and the plan, but they can't get their hands on none of that easy money. I said I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it, yes I do. This is something I came up with that you might have heard on one of Jerry Jeff Walker album. If you like him, this is to you. But it's not pissing in the wind or nothing. Well, just the other morning I was hanging around in my house. I had that new book with pictures of Madonna naked in it and I was checking it out. Just then a friend of mine came through the door. Said she'd never pegged me for a scumbag before. She said she didn't ever want to see me anymore, and I still don't know why. I think I'm an alright guy. I think I'm an alright guy. I just wanna live until I gotta die. I know I ain't perfect, but I knows I try. I think I'm an alright guy. I think I'm alright. Now I know I'm dirty, and a lot of my songs I probably shouldn't sing in the afternoon in front of a bunch of kids. Ain't like on, and I don't know what rhymes with kids, so I'll just swing it instead of cussing in front of your children. No, I get wild, I know I get drunk, and it ain't like I've got a bunch of bodies in my trunk. My old man used to call me a no-good punk, and I still don't know why. I think I'm an alright guy. I think I'm an alright guy. I just wanna live until I gotta die. I know I ain't perfect, but I knows I try. I think I'm an alright guy. I think I'm alright. Play, boy. So these cops pulled me over outside a bar. They turned on their lights. They said, "Hey, mister, we're gonna have to ask you to step out of your car." I was only kidding when I called them a couple of dicks. Still, they made me do the stupid human tricks. Now I'm stuck in this jail with a bunch of dumb hicks, and I still don't know why. I think I'm an alright guy. I think I'm an alright guy. I just wanna live until I gotta die. I know I ain't perfect, but I know I try. I think I'm an alright guy. I think I'm alright. I think I'm an alright guy. I think I'm alright. Thank you. Nice weather, huh? It really is. You should see where I get to stay. I'm gonna get sad for just a second. This also goes back to when I was living in Texas. I was playing my guitar all the time. I was living with this girl named Paige. Well, mostly living at her place. And we got along good for a while, and then it kind of drifted off. She had goals and everything, and she'd written them down. And I just like to do this, you know. And one day I remember I went over to my friend's house, and we were sitting around all afternoon playing guitar. We had our shows that night, so we didn't have nothing to do. And I got back to the apartment, and she's standing in the doorway tapping her foot like it's a TV show or maybe even a movie, you know. And she said, where have you been? That's not the first thing I've toned down for you, too. I'm not even supposed to be up yet. She's standing there tapping her foot. She says, "Where have you been?" I said, "Just playing guitar with my friend." She says, "You know what, boy? You need to get a job." And I said, "You gotta be kidding me." She said, "No, you gotta get a job." And so I got the right harmonica. I said, "Say that again." She said, "Get a job." I said, "Get a job?" She said, "Yeah, and you know what else? We need food. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, today. We need food, and we ain't got anything worth anything but that guitar." And I thought to myself, I can be out of here in 15 minutes. Me like I don't pay my rent. Leave my car to my mechanic. I ain't seen it since. My phone is always ringing, and I want to be alone. They're trying to sell me everything from heaven to cologne. Everybody's got an offer that I just can't refuse. It's a circus out here, mama. Baby's got them side shoulders. commercial, it's a video, man, it's a plot to put into my attention span. Man, they make up all these issues I never understood. If I thought I could change things, I'd run out to Hollywood, but it's so hard to kick the door down when you ain't wearing no shoes. It's a circus out here, mama, yo, baby's a goddamn sideshow blues. I got them sideshow blues. I wanna tame a lion, they center ring. Rich kids, Lord, they're not even trying. They go from college to the big top, taking all of the best positions, while I'm out in this tent with all these freaks and musicians. Out here at the Wild Hours Folk Festival, all you freaks and musicians, I'm moaning them sideshow blues. Tell my girlfriend she's the only one that I got. There's a girl I hardly even know that keeps on telling her that she's not. She's got a loaded pistol, she waves it all the time. She says sometimes you have to kill a boy just to keep his ass in line. At least that's the way she sees it. She says she saw it on the news. It's a circus out here, mama, and your baby's a goddamn sideshow blue. Play satanic records, God, you don't know when they'll freak. From a quiet kid into a maniac, into a movie of the week. Killing over cocaine, dying over sex, bowing down and praying to whoever's gonna cut the checks. And then I go to church on Sunday, brother, sister, and say I cannot help but sleep in the pew. It's a circus out here, mama, baby's a goddamn sideshow blue. Circus out here, mama, little babies, I got them a sideshow blue. Hey, it's a circus out here, Booneville, and your baby got them sideshow. I just got time to do a couple more things for you. I sure want to thank you for being good to me. Be nice to each other. Here's one I do when I get a little nervous. Maybe not in town. Maybe not say in my own town. But y'all seem like a nice group of people. Get a massage over there. That other lady with the cards told me that the gig was gonna go okay. And it's going pretty good so far. Tension, 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 so that I know I got tension in my classroom, I've got tension in my courtroom, I've got tension, and it's everywhere that I go. After the bad guy killed off all the underdeveloped characters, the good guy put a bullet right through his head. And the screenwriter stood up and he told us that all the loose ends had been tied. He said justice is irrelevant, violent problems need violent solutions, because in America we like our bad guys dead. It's called box office, baby. And it's bigger than the Stones. Well, they roped off all my problems. They point their fingers at drug addiction. I think it's because they know if you're the one doing the pointing, nobody's looking at you. But you know, this war on drugs is funded by the Tobacco and Alcohol Commissions. It's not what drugs that you're strung out on they care about as much as whose. You see, people still take drugs. I've been offered them this afternoon. They're bigger than Rush Limbaugh. Tension, tension, tension is all that I know. I've got tension in my classroom, I've got tension in my courtroom, I've got tension and it's everywhere I go. When rock and roll first came around, preachers all went crazy. Pretty soon though, that wasn't enough to bring people in the door. So now they jump on just about any scandal that they can to try and save me, because they know I don't buy that bullshit about the devil's music anymore. Republicans, that's what scares people these days. That and Democrats. Up this morning, smile to the rising sun. 3 little birds, they were sitting on my doorstep. They were singing a sweet song, the melody pure and true. They said, this is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing it's gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is going to be alright. Gotta help me sing. We can't have a folk festival without a sing-along. What would Joan Baez say? Help me say, don't worry about a thing. That feels good. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing be alright. One more time, you guys just space us. Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing's gonna be alright. Y'all, thank you for being so nice to me. Be nice to each other, okay? God bless you.
Todd, don't worry, got a thing, huh? Too beautiful. Too beautiful. Too beautiful not to hear.
B-double-E-double-R-U-M, beer run. B-double-E-double-R-U-M, beer run. All you need is a 10 and a 5 or a car and a key and a sober driver. B-double-E-double-R-U-M, beer run. A couple of frat guys from Abilene drove out all night to see Robert Earl Keen at the K-Pig Swine and Soiree dance. They had baseball hats and cappy pants. They wanted a cigarette, so to save a little money, they got one off these hippies that smelled kind of funny. Next thing they knew, they were both really hungry and pretty thirsty too. B-double-E-double-R-U-M, beer run. B-double-E-double-R-U-M, beer run. All you need is a 10 and a 5 or a car and a key and a sober driver. B-double-E-double-R-U-M, beer run. said their beer was coldest. They sent in Brad because he looked the oldest. He got a case of beer and a candy bar. He walked over to where all them registers are. He laid his fake ID on the countertop. The clerk looked, he turned, he looked back up, he stopped. He said, "Kid, I'm not gonna call the cops, but I gotta take your phony card." The guys both took it pretty hard. B-double-E-double-R-U-N, they're right. B-double-E-double-R-U-N, they're right. All you need is a 10 and a 5 or a car and a key and a sober driver. B-double-E-double-R-U-N, they're right. Met this other old hippie named Sleepy John. He claimed to be the guy from the Robert Earl song, so they gave him the cash. He bought him some brews. It's a beautiful day in Santa Cruz. They were feeling so good it should have been a crime. The crowd was cool and the band was prime. They made it back up front to their seats just in time to sing with all their friends. Hear Robert Earl fans say, "The road goes on forever and the party never ends." B-double-E-double-R-U-N, they're right. B-double-E-double-R-U-N, they're right. All you need is a 10 and a 5 or a car and a key and a sober driver. B-double-E-double-R-U-N, they're right. B-double-E-double-R-U-N, they're right. I don't want to leave you with that one though, okay? Nothing to do except for nothing at all. It's the same old climb up the same old wall that I've fallen down before. You see, I've used my fists and I've used my voice. I haven't used myself like a cheap Rolls Royce. I never knew that I could just use my choice. I ain't gonna cry no more. Let nobody kick a hole in my dream. I will not be falling apart at the seams like I've always done before. You see, I've used my fists and I've used my voice. I have used myself like a cheap Rolls Royce. I never knew that I could just use my choice. I ain't gonna cry no more, and I ain't gonna do it, they scheme and plot and they plan attacks, but someday soon everybody's gonna be switching tracks in a way that this world can't ignore. So call all of your buddies, call up all of your friends, call up your enemies and make amends. We're forming a race and letting everybody in. We ain't gonna cry no more. I said I ain't gonna cry, I ain't gonna cry, I ain't gonna cry no more. Lord God, we forming a race and letting everybody in. We ain't gonna cry no more. Thank you so much. God bless you, Booneville.
Todd Snider. Yo, baby, do we have fun here or what, huh? Yeah. Big hand. Now listen, Todd's got CDs on. Remember one of the